So good morning all, and you may notice it is raining. What a miserable, horrible morning. And obviously I'm out for a ride with Simon GTR1400, and we checked the weather last night. 12% chance of rain. Okay, let's get a run in to suit the sausage. Got up around 8 o'clock this morning, popped down the garage to pick up obviously the GTR, left my car at the garage, and got up to Simon's, and the weather, it was a little bit drizzly, and then all of a sudden the heavens have opened, and who cares, it's a wet day. Proper bikers ride in all weathers. We're not just dry weather bikers, we do all weathers. But Simon's got his 2 young lads with him. Well, not that young, but he's got his 2 lads with him. Both on 125s. One's on a scoot, one is on a little Honda 125. I'll have a little bit of run out, and obviously Simon's up the front. As always, RB plays tail end Charlie. Only reason being, I've got the high vis on, and obviously the GTR is a huge bike, and it's great for blocking traffic. Keeps the cars out of the way, and I can keep an eye on traffic as well. We'll obviously block people coming in. So that is the whole idea of having the GTR at the front, big blocking bike at the front, me at the back, big blocking bike at the back, and get rid of these annoying car drivers that just want to decide to jump in a lane. Now obviously, wet weather, does the GTR handle in wet weather? Hell yes! Pirelli Angel GTs. Now obviously, if you know that I am a Michelin lover, and obviously when Phil said to me it's got Pirelli GTs on it, alright, I'll try them out, I'll see what they are like. These are so darn good. Absolutely lovely tyre, and they do stick in the wet weather. Yep. And obviously I'd like to see what Michelin's do, but these Pirelli Angels do the job absolutely superb. And you may notice as well, I've got my Oxford grips on warm today. Keep my hands warm, keep my hands dry should I say. And I've got them on super hot, 100%, and they are doing an exceptional job of keeping my hands nice and warm. A silly buffoon here, when I got up this morning, I thought, I'll just put my textile jacket on, I won't need my textile leggings, it's not going to be that hot, so I've got my Kevy jeans on. Only downside is, it's raining, I've got wet legs. Who cares? I really can't be bothered that I'm a little bit wet, and if you're a biker you know what it's like. Do we worry about wet legs? Hell no, it's all about the ride. And I am loving being out with the boys today. So we're going to have a nice steady run to suit the sausage. We're not going to be obviously blamming it everywhere, because I've got 2 L-plated drivers between us, or L-plated riders between us. But we've got a nice space cushion going on. Simon's up front, I'm at the back. A lot of wind noise, so we do the obligatory bring the screen up, and I can see just above my screen, so I've got perfect eye line above my screen, but obviously it just deflects all the wind out of the way, so I can have a nice clear audio while I'm doing the run. And the boys are doing alright, they're puddling along at a nice steady 55, which is what you should be doing on a 125. If you're riding a 125, you don't want to be pushing it too hard, you want to be taking your time, and you want to be leaving a space cushion. And then once again, I've been banging on about group riding, and if you happen to be a learner, let me just drop the screen a bit so you can get a decent view. But look how the boys are set up in front of me. So Simon's taking the offside lane, then you've got the little scooter to the inside, and then the other one in position 3. I'm back in position 1, but I'm doing a central block, so I'm tending to occupy the entire lane. So just taking my time, puddling along up into the overdrive gear. So nice 6 gear, 2.2 on the rev counter. So it's literally, this bike is just ticking over doing 50, and my hands are starting to get very hot now, so I'm going to and the best thing about having an Oxford grip, I can adjust it all off the thumb, so I'm down to 50% now. Didn't realise how hot these grips get when you're riding, but if you happen to be in the winter, best set of grips you'll ever buy is a set of Oxford heated grips. They're the best ones on the market. So we're just poddling along nice and slow, maintaining a decent space cushion, and the idea of a space cushion and staggered formation, for those of you who don't know, is if the bike in front does decide to brake, I have a runoff area to his left, or if you're on the outside you've got a runoff area to the right. You're going to be maintaining that space cushion over each other's shoulders, nice steady run, and taking your time. We always work at the slowest bike. It's not all about how quick you can get to a venue, it's how quick the slowest rider in the pack can ride out, and that makes it comfortable for everybody else. You're going to get those that are like, oh come on, I want to be doing 70, but if you're in a group formation, you always ride at the pace of the slowest rider, and it gives you a bit of time to just enjoy the scenery, enjoy the ride, enjoy being out on the bike. And that is what all the fun is about. My hands are nicely warm now, so I'm going to turn my grip heaters off. But obviously you're going to get those that are, oh, I don't want to go out, it's raining, fair weather bikers as we call them. And obviously on dual carriageways you're going to be checking your left shoulder. These two cars are going to bust right in. Knew it. And I've just blocked off that one at the back. He can jump to the back of the pack. And I'm going to play central block now. I'm going to jump out and get in here. There was plenty of time for those cars to get in on the back of the pack and just join in and merge from the back. But as you noticed, it was a BMW. And as I call them, cornflake packet license holders. Yeah. Where did you get your license? Oh, it fell out of a cereal packet. And that be the reason why. Shift down the gear to 5th. There we go. Let's get some revs back on the bike. And it's good to see the boys. If you notice what they're doing, I've just clocked that. They're doing a shoulder check about every minute or so. It's just a quick glance over the shoulder. So Simon's boys have been taught very, very well. They are doing a lot of shoulder checking there, which is great. And I'm just going to close that gap just in case. And obviously Simon's riding up front and he's got his partner with him. And you can just about make out, if I clean the camera, that little pink jacket riding on the bike. So Simon's two up, him and his wife, and of course his two boys. Pleasure to actually ride out with someone that knows what they're doing, and obviously Simon being a GTR rider, very experienced rider. He's done a ROSPA course. I tend to do what's called an ERS, Enhanced Rider Scheme, and I tend to do that twice a year. And simple reason being, do I need to do an Enhanced Rider Scheme? No. I've got 40, well nearly, if you count when I first started riding, I've got nearly 50 years of biking under my belt. I started at 5 and obviously been riding legally for the last 40 years. So yeah, am I an experienced rider? I would say I'm an okay rider. I've got 40 years of biking, only ever had 2 major accidents, both caused by idiot car drivers that weren't paying attention and absolutely no way to get out of it. And but I wouldn't call myself an experienced rider. I do ride, and I'd say I ride at least 10 to 15,000 miles a year on quite a lot of bikes. Now, I tend to ride about 5 or 6 bikes a day, 6 days a week, depending on how many bikes we get into the garage. But I wouldn't class myself as a full-on experienced rider, hence why I do an Enhanced Rider Scheme every 6 months. And normally within about the first 10 minutes of doing my scheme, the instructor is normally, get off your front brake, stop trail braking. I have a very bad habit of bringing some track habits in, and I tend to obviously trail brake, which is the thing, trail brake and counter steer in corners, or just get a bit of drift on the back end. With a big sports tourer like this, it's something you can do, but something I'd advise not to do unless you know how to ride a bike. But yes, I do. I've got quite a lot of knowledge, but it's great to go out and do an extra course. So if you are a CBT rider and you've been riding for about 6 months, look at doing an enhanced rider scheme. It's going to cost you about 100 quid for the day. Is it 100 quid well spent? Hell yes. And there's 2 really good schools in Milton Keynes, 2 instructors I would absolutely rave on about. One of them is Guy from Learn to Ride in Milton Keynes, otherwise known as Horizon, based at Milton Keynes Bowl. And the other one, very, very knowledgeable, and he's normally hanging around at Super Sausage, is Mark Page from Ridewell. And if you happen to go on the Facebook pages like Bikers MK or Biker Friends MK on the Facebook, and there was a question posted the other week, who is a good DAS rider, CBT rider, and everybody has said Mark Page or Guy. They are the 2 that are recommended. And Mark Page is a damn good spirited rider. He really does bring out the best in everybody, but he'll also tell you, and he doesn't pull no punches. He's like Guy, he tends to, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, adjust this, adjust that, thank you very much. So I tend to do an enhanced rider scheme about twice a year, every 6 months. Don't need it, but you're always learning. You know, after 40 years, do I need to learn more? Hell yes. You know, the highway code changes every year, different things change every year, different mods on bikes change every year. So an enhanced rider scheme is a very, very good thing to do. So enough about that one. If you haven't seen Simon's latest video, if you happen to be a GTR owner like myself, and I've got some really good tips off of him. He's got his latest video out, mods and things you can do, accessories for the GTR1400. And I've got 2 of the mods that he's already said. I'm looking at getting a bigger top box, but I'm quite happy with the little one I've got. I've got 42 on it at the moment. Simon's got the bigger top box that takes 2 full crash helmets in that one. And then obviously sat-nav. Now Simon's got Tom Rider, and he's got his position down here on the bars, which is where my bracket is going when it decides it's going to arrive. So I've got one of those coming. And then obviously there's loads of things. Crash bars. Simon was talking about crash bars. I've got a dirty big set of crash bars that came with the bike down there. So the crash bars are there, just in case the bike goes over. Not that I am going to try and drop this thing. One thing I do love about this GTR is all the multifunction display that I've got there. So just buffering the boys, shoulder check before we do the corner. Simon's back up the front with the GTR. He isn't going to hang around with this car. I'm going to run block, central lane. Cars behind can wait. It is a 60 along here, but it drops to a 50, and the boys are puddling along adequately well, doing a nice steady 40. He's on a scoot, so he's going to have to give it some beans to get up that hill. Scoots aren't the best thing for accelerating, but I'm playing central block, and as you can see from the car in that mirror behind, I'm holding him back. Tough. He is going to have to wait. I've got 2 learner riders in front of me, and the last thing I want is that car coming round the outside of me, cutting in front, or last minute is a car coming and he busts in and gets those guys to brake. So I tend to run a central block if I've got L-plated riders in front of me. Pack formation, we would normally move a little bit quicker, but with 125s I'm playing at their speed, so I'm quite happy for them boys to just run along at their own speed, get a bit of road knowledge, road experience, and from their positioning, they're damn good at getting themselves in line. Absolutely perfect. Taught by Simon, so he's obviously given them all the info what to do. So, riding well, boys. Very well done. And obviously on my multifunction display, I had it on earlier for the battery voltage. I can just press a button. My average miles per gallon, 46.9. She's running very, very well. Reach forward, hit it again. Current miles per gallon, 54.4, which is damn sight better than what the Kawasaki that I used to have did. I can go into my range, 168 miles, and then my tyre pressures are there as well. And I need to get the front one recalibrated because it's telling me my front tyre pressure is not registering. And obviously I let a bit of pressure out the front. I normally run 42, which is what you normally run on a GTR. I know for a fact I've got 40 on the front. I've got 36 on the rear, just because it's a wet morning and I'm single-ridered. If I had two up, then I'd bring that up to around about 42, but I'm quite happy with 36 on the rear. But that just needs recalibrating just to bring that on. Front tyre pressure is not locating, but I tend to have it in my average miles to the gallon, just so I get a decent speed. Gear indicator's just up to the top of the left. Water temperature's looking good, loft down the side of the screen, and then my fuel. And filled it up the other day, 32 quid to fill the tank to full, and that's good for about 200 miles. Now normally if I was to put 20 quid in the Kawasaki, that would probably last me about 90 to 100 miles, just doing 20 to the gallon. Pulling into Super Sausage though. Visor up, let's just see what we've got. Morning buddy, how you doing, you alright? I think it's looking quite good today. The little tea hut is open, all the boys are here. And we're going to occupy my standard parking space right outside the garage. So RB's normal parking place. And we'll get parked up, have a quick look at the bike, see what we've got. But that was a damn good ride. Had fun on that one. So we'll have a quick eyeball with the bikes. A nice looking Harley there. So there's my GTR, the little Honda, little Vespa ET4, and of course Simon's bike's over there. That's the big concourse, that's the one in black. Slightly later gen than mine. Mine is the earlier gen, but got a couple of aftermarket mods on there. Obviously you can see the difference. I've got the crash bars on mine. Simon's just got the straight panels on that. Nice exhaust to the rear. He's got the larger top box on that as well, and he's also got that Puig screen at the front, so it's a little bit higher screen than mine. But we're going to go and have bacon roll, a cup of coffee, and the obligatory smoke, and we'll catch up all with you on the run to home.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
See you later. So we're on the way back. Here is hammering it down, and Simon and the boys in front. They're going to take a nice steady run back. I'm going to foot it a bit because I have the bacon and sausage rolls in the pannier at the back, and the neighbours are due to go out soon. He said, oh, can you get out before 11:30? Yes, I'm on my way. And it is absolutely minging out, absolutely minging. So nice steady run. Simon and his boys were all getting wet, and I should have put my textile trousers on. So I've currently got very wet jeans and a very wet ass. Am I allowed to say the A word in a YouTube video? Probably, as long as it's not too much swearing. But the heated seat is on. Oh yes, I have a heated seat. Happy days. And the only thing is, with a heated seat, your backside gets warm and it makes you feel like you wet yourself. But it's drying me off quite nicely. But it is absolutely chucking it down. Just clean the camera off of it. And then I am going to go home. I won't be cutting the lawn today, but I'm sure I'll have other little bits and pieces to do when I get home. The obligatory bit of housework, put the washing on, and catch up with a few of my YouTube videos. And we'll see how we go. Oh, that's so nice. Bloody car drivers. He's going to get a mouthful if Simon's up the front. And it is absolutely miserable, but all the fun of being a good biker. Get out in traffic and have a little bit of fun. Obviously with these roads, and his Pirelli tyres are handling quite well. What we're going to do this morning, rather than run the rolls home and then come down, I'm going to go straight to the garage, drop the bike off, put the rolls in the car and take the rolls home from the car. Ooh, and I can feel my leg getting wet, my boots are filling up as well. Should have put the textiles on, but oh well, what a shame. I'm going to sit with the boys for a while and then have the obligatory blam down the A5 just to get these rolls home in time. And I'm getting decidedly wet now, very, very wet. So that's the fun of being on the bike. And obviously with the tail gun position, I'm going to get rid of that screen for a minute. Who cares if you get a little bit of water in the face? Once again, perfect riding formation. I'm occupying bang on dead centre, keeping my eye on the boys. Poddling along it is obligatory 40 mile an hour. And obviously because they're learner riders, I'm going to stick with them for a while, especially in the conditions like we are today. Just cover their backs for a while. Clear them through this traffic and then we're going to foot it down a bit. Right, so we're going to run to the garage. Let's get the screen up. Right, let's run to the garage. get the run in before these rolls get cold. And just sitting about the 4,000 RPM on this, nice and steady. Get the bike back to the garage, get the rolls up to home, and have a little bit of fun when I get home. Dry myself off, put some clean clothes on. Oh, it's wet. And Simon and Tracy and the boys, Matthew and Craig, Matthew and I think Charlie, make their way home. So, whatever you're doing this week, we're going to wind it up here actually. We're going to wind up early, it's not much to see, it's just too darn wet. Whatever you're doing this week, thanks to Simon and the guys coming out. I knew it was going to be a miserable day, but it was worth it. Just up and run with Simon GTR1400, pop across watch his channel. And thanks to Ali and Hayden that came out today. Nice to have a catch up with them. Have a little bit of fun. Thanks to all the guys at the Super Sausage. Don't forget bike meets this week: Tuesday Newport Pagnell, Wednesday the Swan at Norfolk. Go and meet all the bikers. Thursday Oakley Motorcycle Club, and catch up with all that lot. Friday not much happening. Saturday it's not much happening, but if you're out Sundays, and Super Sausage is open 7 days a week if you fancy a run to Super Sausage. 7 days a week. They do an excellent breakfast, bacon roll, whatever you want. All the food is there. Even do a curry if you want a curry night. It's well worth getting out to Super Sausage. We love it every Sunday because of all the bikers being there. Just a shame it was absolutely horrible today. It just shows you what this GTR can do in the wet on these Pirelli Angel GTs. And the best thing is, I've now figured out where the heat vents back. It's drying my thighs off. Thank you very much, GTR. She's giving me some warmth on the legs. But even in this wet weather, on these Pirelli Angels, she still handles and sticks where she wants. Very, very low centre of gravity, as Simon said to me. You're not going to go far wrong with the GTR for stability. And just getting out touring, and I'm sitting very, very comfortably about 70, 75. Just eating the miles up. But almost at the garage. Taking it nice and steady. Get past this car out the way. And the babble of that big quack engine just kicking in. So I say, whatever you're doing this week, drive yourself a good one. If you are out on your bike this week, be well, ride safe. Myself RB, Simon that was out me earlier, Simon GTR1400. Go and check his channel out. Have a good one. And as always, from RB, be well, ride safe. It's a big goodbye from me. Take care, guys.